Is Sinners from Dusk Till Dawn? Well, let me rephrase that. To be more blunt, is Sinners just a copy of the movie From Dusk Till Dawn, but with black people? Now, hear me out. This isn't a review or anything, but I genuinely am asking a question because I don't know. But I got my misgivings because I have seen the trailer for Sinners and then kind of got a layout of the plot, and it just sounds like From Dusk Till Dawn. Now, I have absolutely no problem with the movie itself or anything like that. I have no misgivings about the movie touching on the subject matter, the cast, or the characters, or anything like that. It seems like it's a fine movie. But I do have a problem with the fact that I have heard that this movie is essentially original. But everything about it just screams From Dusk Till Dawn. Now, if you don't know anything about this movie, which I'm pretty sure, from how the critics are raving about Sinners, then you probably don't know anything about From Dusk Till Dawn. But the similarities are just ridiculously striking. See, the story in both movies, the story revolves around two brothers that are on the wrong side of the law. They wind up going to a club, then vampires. You have the supposed subplot dealing with the other cast of characters that the two brothers essentially bring along into the club. But all of the stuff and all of the misgivings and subplots going on with those people get pushed to the side and ultimately don't matter because vampires. That happens in both movies. See, this is what's very confusing. Hell, the movie, it is like, okay, it's like you can split hairs if you want to by trying to talk about the minutia of what goes on in both movies, but at its core, it's the same thing. Again, vampires overtaking and running and busting into a club where a shootout takes place at the very end of everything. That's what happens from Dusk Till Dawn. That whole thing happens in that movie. The very end, where essentially all of the vampires get obliterated in one fell swoop just by the lucky break at the very end, where all hope seemed lost. That happens in both movies, and just even for a Spitfire ending towards this movie. You can leave now if you don't want to hear any more, if you want to see Sinners for yourself or From Dusk Till Dawn. But the movies end where only two of the original main characters that weren't vampires are left alive, where one of them is the criminal brother and the other one is just the innocent random person who the criminal brother basically just leaves to fend for themselves and they just go off on their own way. Now, it seems as if they tried to have a underlying concept behind like the father of jazz, the black guy who supposedly sold his soul to be able to play guitar, but I'm not sure if they're trying to convey that story or piece that into whatever it is they got going on. But ultimately, it doesn't matter because vampires, which is again the same thing that happened in From Dusk Till Dawn. Hell, the end of the movie, much like from When Dusk Till Dawn, the brother that survives basically has a run-in with a whole gang of other people that had no involvement whatsoever with the vampires. Now, yeah, you can talk about the fact that essentially one is a strip club and the other one is essentially a speakeasy, but that's still, you're splitting hairs. It's still the same concept. Hell, one of the brothers get turned into like, you can even see this from the trailers where one of the brother gets attacked and is turned into a vampire by a woman, and then the other brother is then forced to kill that brother in order to survive. That happens in both movies. I just don't, I'm not happy about this. I'm not happy at the fact that I'm hearing people say it's an original movie, that I'm hearing people not make the similarities, or no one even pointing out the fact that essentially, yeah, all of this has been done before in a movie that honestly, visually looked better. let's face it, From Dusk Till Dawn gave a very striking and authentic look towards their vampires. It is when the horde essentially came. They all looked the same, but they had it just had some identity behind it because they were some really messed up looking creatures, and that was cool. You know, it was cool for what it was. But yeah, hell, they even have an old established black man that gets turned. I still haven't seen the movie, but I know a lot about what goes on in it. But oh my goodness, you begin with basically a bunch of, like I said, a bunch of subplots that don't really go anywhere because, again, vampires. Ugh. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. Oh boy. So yeah, I just genuinely have that question. If anyone else essentially noticed the similarities, if you haven't seen From Dusk Till Dawn, but you've seen Sinners, go watch From Dusk Till Dawn. Yeah, it's like, yo, the brothers aren't twins, but it's still the same concept. They're criminals. It's like, so it's two brothers that are criminals. One is they keep talking about how essentially they're evil not by choice, or they do bad things not by choice, but more so like they're kind of predestined to do that because of their lot in life. Maybe we should stop letting that guy who's directing all this stuff direct movies, because he's not doing anything original. It seems like it's just the same thing. But yeah. Again, no ill givings towards the movie Sinners. I just had a question. And also, stop praising Michael B. Jordan playing two roles. That's not impressive. Nigga, I grew up with Lindsay Lohan in Parent Trap, okay? That was a little girl who played a completely different character with a different personality and an accent. Michael B. Jordan just played himself again. It's another character. That is not impressive. We need to calm down. We need to calm down with that one. He played two roles. That is not a big deal. There have been multiple people who have done that and better than Michael B. Jordan. So yeah, you just calm that all the way down. Seriously.
If you've been paying attention, it's because you're a nerd with nothing better to do. The end!